Going to discuss about the articles for 26 September. Keep your pen and notebook ready and keep on making notes whatever you think is necessary. You are free to give me any suggestions for in the comment section, and let's begin. Number one is Rafale. It's a deal signed between India and France. What is it regarding? It's regarding aircraft and air force. And what will it do? Basically, it will give a major boost to the aircraft industry. Okay, India was bargaining on this deal since previous 17 months, and that when should this deal happen and what all criteria should be there. So it's a very major deal in the past 2 decades, and do expect a question on this. What are the main highlights about this? There are two missiles. One is A2A missile and one is A2G missile. A2A missile is of the range 150 kilometers and A2G missile is of the range 300 kilometers. When will you be using it? This can be used in the second nuclear strike, and this has replaced Mirage 2000 in the second nuclear strike. Do you know the cost of it? It's $7.87 billion for 36 Rafales only, and one aircraft you can calculate is for $91 million. It's a fourth generation aircraft. Again, a reminder, what is Tejas? Tejas is a made in India aircraft, and along with that we are also about to get a new aircraft, fifth generation aircraft from Russia, that will soon be added to our basket of all the aircrafts. Okay, then number two, we have on the right of photocopy. We all know Delhi High Court has been dealing on this case, and this case is between publishers and the teachers, students and photocopies. What this case is basically about the infringement. Okay, so let's look at the Copyright Acts. What are section 13 and 14? Section 13 and 14 give the exclusive rights to the author and the publisher. Without their permission or creativity, their creativity cannot be used. So it guards the private interest of the publisher. And to balance that, section 14, we have section 52(1), that if any material in course of instruction, it can be used for the university study related purposes. This will not cause any infringement. Harvesting of knowledge, this line you can use in your mains examination. It's a brilliant line. Then this judgment has given a very wide interpretation to this law, this act, and India basically practices fair dealing, that wherever there is study related material you can always use the photocopy material, whereas TRIPS also in article 13 has stated at Copyright Act that in special circumstances Copyright Act can be violated. And what are the restrictions? That number one limitation is that when there is no limitation to the photocopy, the author or the publisher will lose all the motivation. And number two, it is lacking the balance, and it will lead to less publishing, which will lead to less knowledge. Then in article 13 of TRIPS also, it says that you cannot exploit, you cannot exploit author's work or prejudice against it. And this is giving basically a blanket immunity for the photocopy. And number 5 is that if books are genuinely costly, it is not the responsibility of the author or the publisher to bear the pain. It is the responsibility of the university to create a library as per the need of the children. Okay, so next is Pakistan is a very hot topic. So while dealing with Pakistan related issues, there are certain mistakes, mistaken beliefs which we always have in our head. Number one is we always call it a cross-border terrorism, and it's a very restrictive term. We need to clearly state it that it is a war with Pakistan or war with terrorism or whatever. You don't need to call it a cross-border terrorism. USA, when they had this terrorist attacks, they had this firm note that they called it war against terrorism, and they full took benefit of UN. So why can't India do that? And India needs to have instant retaliation, and which is the need of the hour. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि सुबह 5 बजे we have had the terror attack, and in the evening at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. we are thinking that we should retaliate. So that's not the reality. Then again, jingoism is very upcoming. Do expect a question on jingoism, okay? And read more about it, and comment in the section that whatever you read about this, okay? And another belief is that Pakistan has a very strong army. Pakistan has a very strong army, but we should not forget that India is not having any weaker army. India is also very stronger army. And Then Pakistan Army and ISI are always in a state of denial. They always keep on saying that they keep on doing terrorist attacks, and they deny that we are not doing, but the world knows. We have already given the proofs that they are the ones who are doing that. And then they always claim that Pakistan generals are fearless and they might do the nuclear attacks and everything. See, practically it is not possible. If everybody has their families, everybody has a life, everybody is a human, and it's not that they are fearless. If they would have been fearless, why would they have ended the previous wars between India and Pakistan? Yeah. So here are certain solutions which the editor has given. So number one is we have to leave jingoism and actually gain back our unity, that no, we are going to stay strong and solve our problems together. And then we need to make our economy really strong. And a major deal is that we cannot afford any war at present, because India is the fastest growing economy, but we need to make our economy stronger. Okay, then we need to have a security doctrine. What is security doctrine? You can call it a rule kind of a thing, that for every situation we should have a clear mentioning that if this is happening, then this is what our retaliation will have. Read more about it and comment write in the comment section. Then we need to fill our arsenal, and WWR is a war wastage or reserve, that we should always have the enough reserve for any war, for any specific time. ये नहीं होना चाहिए that we are waiting that okay, let the war break, then we will start arranging the arsenal. No. So next is armed forces should be integrated with the ministries. This is a very hot issue these days, and keep an eye on this. What they are saying is that one chief should be there for Army, Navy and Air Force, whom we will be calling Chief of Defence Staff. Okay, and this person will be the head of all the three chiefs. Then we have complex issues in DRDO, and they should be overcome, and indigenous missiles should be funded and they should be motivated. And then next we should be having a synchronized approach. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए that some authority saying something else and some other authority something else. Okay, then next is a very important article about competitive federalism. What is competitive federalism? It's my favorite topic, by the way. It leads to the excellence. And what is competitive federalism? When states compete against each other in any of the field, and it's a sign of successive federalism. It's a positive competition, and it leads to the betterment of the people. And this competition can be for anything, for financial aid, for power, for any of the things. Okay, and recently Gujarat, Karnataka and Rajasthan for investment and FDI, they have done various reforms in labor and land. In labor, they have done to attract more and more industries, and this can be called a healthy competition, and it's joint effort for India's development. One size doesn't fit at all, and it's one of the bottom-up approaches. So this concept basically came from USA. In US, the states have been following this kind of a federalism. So this is a major reason because of which we have ruled out Planning Commission and we have replaced it by Niti Aayog. Okay, and in 14th Finance Commission also, 32 to 42% division has been increased to the states, and states decide their own policies now. Even the state center-sponsored schemes can be altered as per the state's need. Okay, so this is basically having the idea that shared national objectives should be there, progress should be focused upon. And for example, in Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad, and in Karnataka, Bangalore, both are IT cities. So federalism in India has evolved over the time, and not all states are able to compete. There are still some states which are lagging behind, which are not in the race. So government needs to fund them, and government need to provide them equity so that they can compete. And the last one I'm going to talk about today is Healthcare Index. In the Lancet, it's an organization which publishes indexes about the sustainable development. So the state of India is very poor in hygiene practice. We have 8 upon 100 and 8 on 100. Then in sanitation we have 48 on 100. In access to water we have 22 on 100, and in malaria eradication we have 10 on 100. Okay, so this is all for today's articles. Thank you so much for watching.